Hey everyone, Sandwichface here, and I'm back from my sabbatical. Happy 2024, everyone! I'm just about ready to start off the new year with a video. How about you? Anyway, this video is going to be a little different from my previous videos, because over the course of my vacation, some interesting new SRB2 mod-related developments occurred. I'm referring mainly to the Silverhorn mod, as it was a pretty big deal when it released, and I even joined a netgame for the first time in forever because of it. There was also the recent SRB2 Mod Direct, which didn't really show anything that caught my eye, although it still seemed to generate a lot of buzz within the community. But it was also around this time I started thinking, and after really giving this idea I had some thought, I decided to ask the wonderful members of my Discord server an interesting question. Is Vanilla SRB2 becoming obsolete? And I received some pretty interesting answers. Most people seem to disagree with the notion, but why? And I could ask the same question to myself. Why do I think Vanilla SRB2 is becoming obsolete? Well, I decided to answer that. So I'm going to ask the question again in this video, and this time I'll answer it in the best way I can. Is Vanilla SRB2 becoming obsolete? Well, let's find out. So we all know that SRB2 is a very moddable game, right? I would hope so, considering you're watching an SRB2 video. But anyways, SRB2 is made on the Doom engine, specifically a heavily modified version of an old source port called Doom Legacy, which is why SRB2 has 3D floors, or FUFs. Doom is already very well known for its modding capabilities, and adding a Sonic skin and a whole boatload of tools like Lewis scripting and the enormous amount of sprites required for a custom character on top of that was bound to create a modding community like this one. There's a ton of custom characters, maps, scripts, and even source code modifications to choose from. Especially when you have 25 years of prior content to work with. But, wait a minute. We're missing something here. Isn't Sonic Roboblast 2 supposed to be a sequel to Sonic Roboblast? Isn't this fan game still incomplete and missing entire zones from the single-player campaign? If that's the case, why does it all feel so overshadowed? I mean, yeah, what's there is pretty damn good. You've got about 8 main zones in the game so far, and a whole slew of bonus levels to play after you beat those, not to mention 6 playable characters to play all of those levels with. But then you look at what the community is pumping out. You notice how much polish these characters have, how much depth they all have compared to all of the vanilla cast, how all of these custom levels continue to overshadow the best of the vanilla campaign in terms of visuals and creativity. And then you just start to think, does the SRB2 part of SRB2 actually mean anything? I've taken a bit of a look around, and it's hard to find people who really talk about SRB2, and love it for what it is. Sure, people will tell you about what mods they played and which ones they're looking forward to playing, but when you ask them about SRB2 in general, you don't really hear much of anything in return. I'm sure you could try looking for SRB2 net games with like-minded Oh, wait, never mind. It's basically impossible to find a good vanilla net game anymore, haha. Ringslinger is effectively non-existent at this point, but that's a subject for a future video. Additionally, if you really look at what's happening in the development side of things, you start to get the feeling that SRB2 is changing, like as a whole. And it's changing to be more like the mods that spawned from it. The Greenflower Zone remake looks like it's adopting the slope usage of many custom SRB2 levels. And Amy is getting her moveset completely overhauled to be more complex, with far more tools at her disposal. There's this feeling that the simplicity of SRB2 is being abandoned in favor of something more and more focused towards the modding, and less towards a completed SRB2. So with all of that said, is Vanilla SRB2 really becoming obsolete? Well, my answer is a little complicated. It's hard to ignore the fact that the modding has taken center stage for this community, and that the vanilla player base for this game is more of a myth than anything tangible. But despite all of the big new character mods with polished sprites and huge old DC releases with sprawling levels, I think there's still a place in this world for Vanilla SRB2. Shocked? Well, here's why. So you know those giant sprawling levels I talked about with slopes galore? You'd be lucky to get more than a few of those every year because they only really get released during the OLDC, and those only happen twice a year. Those beautiful custom characters with fun, well-thought-out abilities, they're really great, but making 300 plus sprites of that quality takes a lot of time and effort, and, well, needless to say, you won't be seeing these types of mods very often because of that. So, if quality mods take time, effort, and motivation to make, what fills in the cracks? Surely there has to be something to play other than the good stuff, right? Well, you're in luck, because there are plenty of mods to fill the void. That is, if you like, things like Giganticus, or, Kirby's Dream Land. Okay, I think I see the issue with relying on mods. And you know what? I think Vanilla SRB2 is looking pretty good right now in comparison. You see, while those major releases might be spectacles on their own, and they might overshadow Vanilla SRB2 in a lot of ways, they also don't release very frequently. And when those mods finally stop being new, and people have had their fun with it, there's really not much else around that's worth playing. And when you're really digging around in the trash bin looking for just about anything SRB2 to play, you do tend to appreciate Vanilla SRB2 a lot more. And more often than not, you might just go play something else. And lastly, when it comes to the changing direction of SRB2, aren't the little imperfections in SRB2's design what motivate modders to create in the first place? Isn't that why you see so many momentum mods that change character abilities because people think what's there can be improved? Trying to perfect SRB2 and remaking everything over and over again is kind of missing the point on why all of these people keep modding it in the first place. It's because there's room and a desire to do so. If SRB2 reaches whatever new Sonic Team Jr. deems to be quote-unquote perfect, what reason is there to create all of these mods? The game is perfect, there's no room for improvement. You can't improve upon perfection, so why even try? The point is, people mod because there's a reason to do so. SRB2 isn't perfect, yes, but it doesn't need to be, because what's already there is good enough to inspire so many people to express their creativity and build upon their talents. And that is why Vanilla SRB2 isn't becoming obsolete, because as long as SRB2 remains quirky and imperfect, the more the modding community thrives. And I think that's a pretty good thing. Alright, that'll be it for this video. This was a very interesting question to look into, and it feels a lot more personal than some of my previous rants. Maybe you found it interesting, maybe you didn't. Regardless of what you thought, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and join the Trashbin Central Discord linked in the description down below. See you all again soon, and here's to another year of new Sonic Team Jr. making no progress on 2.3. Bye!